Imagine this nightmare scenario. You are involved in a civil lawsuit, you think everything is going fine, your attorney has it all handled, and you are just waiting for updates.
Right. Totally standard.
Exactly. But then one day, a sheriff knocks on your front door with a writ of execution. So that is a court order authorizing them to forcibly seize your assets.
Oh, wow. That is terrifying.
And you are given exactly 3 days to comply with a court judgment you never even knew existed.
Yikes.
Yeah. Welcome to this deep dive into Philippine Supreme Court jurisprudence. Today, we're looking at a January 2021 en banc decision.
Which, just means the entire Supreme Court sat together to rule on the case.
Right, and it's about a lawyer who did exactly this to his client. Okay, so let's unpack this. We're going to digest this case using the ALAC method.
That's answer, legal basis, application, and conclusion.
Right, which is a great framework to uncover how a lawyer's actions can just completely shatter judicial ethics. I mean, think of an attorney like a commercial pilot.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah, it's like turning off the intercom and taking a nap while the plane is nosediving. You simply cannot abandon the controls of someone else's life.
That is the perfect way to look at it. Because the damage here goes far beyond just a missed deadline. So starting with the answer to the core question of this case, did this lawyer, Attorney Centro, commit gross negligence?
I mean, spoiler alert, right.
Exactly. The Supreme Court's answer was a resounding yes. And they handed down a massive 3-year suspension from the practice of law.
Wow, 3 years is a really heavy hit. That tells me he didn't just, fumble some paperwork.
Definitely not.
He must have violated the absolute foundational rules of the profession to get that kind of penalty.
He absolutely did. The legal basis for his suspension is deeply rooted in the lawyer's oath and the Code of Professional Responsibility.
Right.
We don't need to get bogged down in reciting all the specific canon numbers, but the court focused heavily on two main things: a lawyer's absolute fidelity to their client's cause, and the strict demand for competence and diligence.
Basically, you are legally required to respect the court process and actually file the necessary documents to defend the person relying on you.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the application to the facts reveals a frankly shocking timeline.
Oh yeah, this part is wild. So how does a lawyer let a sheriff just show up at their client's door?
Well, Attorney Centro looked his client, Mr. Portuguese, right in the eye and told him that a required memorandum had been filed in court.
And a memorandum is essentially a final written argument summarizing their side of the case, right?
Correct. But it wasn't filed. And even worse, Centro received the adverse court decision in August of 2017. He knew they lost.
Wait, so he knew they lost in August?
Yes, in August.
Oh my.
But he completely ghosted his client until that sheriff arrived in January of 2018.
That is 5 months of radio silence. He knew they lost, and he just let the clock run out on any chance to appeal.
Yep, exactly. And when the client finally confronted him, Centro basically just shrugged and said he was, quote, giving up the case for good.
See, here is where it gets really interesting to me, though. If he wanted out, why not just formally withdraw as counsel so the client could find someone else?
Right, exactly.
Why actively lie and ghost both the client and the court?
Well, because formally withdrawing requires actual accountability. It's a legal mechanism.
You have to face the music.
Exactly. You have to file a formal motion, face the judge, and explain to your client exactly why you are leaving them without representation.
Which a negligent lawyer probably wants to avoid.
Oh, 100%.
Oh.
By ghosting, he took the easy way out for himself. But in doing so, he actively sabotaged the court process and guaranteed his client would lose everything.
It is just awful.
And his avoidance didn't even stop there. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines ordered him to answer a disciplinary complaint about this very behavior.
And let me guess, he ignored them too.
He completely ignored them, yeah.
It is just a total pattern of evasion. I mean, he ignores the client, he disrespects the court, and then he literally ghosts the disciplinary board.
Right, so it's just layer upon layer of negligence.
So what does this all mean for the final conclusion under the ALAC method?
The Supreme Court's ultimate conclusion was that his actions were a wanton betrayal of public trust. Casually setting aside a person's livelihood and then ignoring the lawful orders of the disciplinary board, it exposes a severe character flaw.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
The court made it really clear that this kind of behavior tarnishes the nobility of the entire legal profession. Hence, the strict 3-year suspension.
Which is totally deserved. And if you ever need to hire legal counsel, this case is such a powerful reminder for you.
Oh, absolutely.
It sets the absolute baseline for the communication, diligence, and respect you are legally and ethically owed. Being a lawyer is a privilege burdened with strict conditions. It is not just a job, it is a public trust.
Which raises a really important question to leave you with today.
Lay it on us.
If a lawyer is willing to completely ignore the disciplinary orders of the very judicial system they swore an oath to uphold, how can the system proactively identify and stop these character flaws before everyday people lose their right to a fair fight?